Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to replace the belt on a Buell XB. Okay, you should always have a service manual, you should always have the proper tools. You can't be responsible for what you do to your own bikes. Sit back, enjoy the video, learn how to replace the belt on a Buell XB. Take care guys, I'll see you soon. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the chin spoiler here. Okay, you got 3 on this side. You got two of these on the other, and you got 2 right here in the front. Okay, if you got your bike on the race stands, okay, like I got them on the race stands, you might want to take these out before you put them up on the race stands. Okay, and then let me take that off for you. I already took some of the other ones off for the sake of time. Alright. Alright. And then this just comes off. Alright. I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next step is we're going to remove the foot peg mount here. Okay. So there's 3 bolts right here and here. I already started loosening them. I'll take the rest, take it out. Okay, and what we do is we'll hang this with a bungee cord. Okay, gotta get this out of the way so we can get this cover off. Belt cover. Alright, I'm going to hang this with a bungee cord, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the belt guard here. Belt cover, sprocket cover, whatever. Okay, you're going to take out this 3, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, then that'll come off. Okay, like I said, I started these already. Okay, there's a little back guard here, a little mouth guard. That's gonna like come down, but that's okay. It just droops a little bit. There it goes. Alright. Alright, you take the cover off. Alright, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're going to go on to the other side of the bike real quick, and we're going to just take the rear caliper off, and we will hang that with the bungee cord. That's right, I like my bungee cords. Alright, we're going to take off the hose bracket here, and then these 2 bolts right here, and then the caliper comes right off. These hex bolts, I don't really like hex bolts that much. Not that it really matters if I like them, but they can get easily damaged is why I don't like them. Okay, just got to be very careful. You got to make sure when you use one of these sockets or the Allen wrenches, it's all the way in. It's got to be all the way in. Okay, just remember that because they're very easy to shred. Like some of the other ones on the other side, I can show you the little ones and stuff. The dealer took care of those for me by shredding them, but they're easily replaceable. You know, it's no big deal. All right. Make sure it's all the way in. Okay, and don't over torque them. And put them back on. Alright. Okay. Just wiggle that out. And do not squeeze the push the brake pedal down on this. Okay, these the pistons can come out on these. Okay, and I'm going to hang this with a bungee cord, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. The next step is to loosen the pinch bolt, which is under here. Okay. And one of the keys to doing this is when you put it back together. You definitely do not over torque these, okay? Make sure it's all the way in. Alright. There you go. Shit's nice and loose. to take it out, but you can if you want. Just need to make sure it's nice and loose, all right? All right, and I'll be right back. The next step, we're going to loosen the axle. All right, guys, the next thing to do is to loosen the axle. Use the adapter that came with the bike. All right, I had to loosen this a little bit. Tells you to give it 15 turns. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Okay, this loosens up the belt. All right, just keep going. I'm going to loosen a little bit more, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing to do is to remove the pulley, these two nuts right here. Okay, the key to this is make sure you have the axle loosened enough, at least 15 turns. I use maybe a little bit more. If it's too tight when you're trying to pull it off, just loosen the rear axle a little bit more, okay? Like I said, that's especially important when you're putting it back on, because this is a little tight when you put it back on. But you take your time and you'll get it back on. All right, I just gotta wait. Listen, it should be loose enough. Just like I said, see, it comes right off. Beautiful. And I'll be right back. All right, guys. The next step is to take off the lower belt guard. Mine's in 03, so I guess this was more involved. It's not all that difficult. I guess the later models are a little bit easier to take off. I don't know. They redesigned it, but this isn't so bad. Okay, you got 3 under here, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Try not to block the view. All right. I had taken 2 other ones off already. Okay. Pull that out. See, this is the top belt guard. Pull that out a little bit, and then that just comes down. All right, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, the next step is we're going to remove the fasteners to the upper belt guard. But the belt, this part of this is actually mounted to the brace here, which we'll be taking off next. We got the one in the back over here. Okay, this is for the fasteners. We got one here, and here. That one we took off already. This one is one of the, and there's one over here. It's one of the to the swing arm here. That's got to come off too. All right. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's see. One behind here. You get at it through the wheel. Okay, get it right through the wheel. All right. And the last one is on this swing arm here. I already loosened this one a little bit. A hex bolt in there, so like I said before, careful with the heads on those. They shred pretty easy. Okay, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move the swing arm brace. Okay, you got 2 down here, 2 short ones down here, 1 long one up here. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little trick on how to get this, separate the brace, the front guard from the rear guard here. Okay, I already loosened these, I started them, so I'm going to take them out. bolts up here. Alright, I'm going to light this up in here. Okay, I'm going to show you this right in here. Okay. In here, okay, the front guard has to be separated from the rear guard. See if you can see that in order to get this piece out, okay? Okay, that's a little trick you got to do, and then I'll show you the rest of it here, alright? You got to slide the back off of that piece. There you go, and it comes out. Okay. Let me show you that piece again. You just got to work with it a little bit. Okay, you got to slide the inner one off of that. Okay, and then the outer one, and then you pull the whole piece off. Okay, it's not too involved. You just got to take your time, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. The next step will be to remove the belt, but let me explain a few things to you here. Okay, if you're using the racing stands like I use, okay, you need to jack the bike up a little bit because you can't get the belt over this part of the jack here, the racing stand. Okay, so on the website, badweatherbikers.com, that is a great website, by the way, for Buell owners. Okay, they have a template to make a whole lift for the whole muffler, which I made also. But for this case, because I have another jack, the one that I use in the V-Rod videos, I made just a little, one-sided template. Okay, I'm going to put it on the jack, I'm going to jack it up, and then I'll show you how to take the belt off, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I jacked the Buell up, I moved the racing stand out of the way, and now you just got to slide the belt off. Just slide it right off. Okay? Slide it off the front pulley. Okay, and you're done. Then you just take the new belt, okay, and you replace it the opposite way. You put it right on, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the belt back on the pulley. Okay, make sure the front sprocket is on first. Okay, leave this nice and loose back here. Okay, it makes it a lot easier to put the belt on. I learned that a long time ago when the first time I took it off. All right, keep it nice and loose. Lift the wheel. Just stretch it on around there. Slide it on. All right, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. The next step is we're going to put the swing arm brace in. We're going to install it, loosely. This is the part that gets a little tricky. Remember with the inner belt guard, the outer belt guard. Just take your time with this. I might end up blocking the shot a little bit when I'm doing this. But listen, if you had enough by now, take a break before you do this, because this is the trickiest part, and it's not really that difficult. All right, let's give it a shot. And we've got to get this part in down here. Okay, just like I said, if you take your time, slide it in. Okay. Okay, and the inner belt guard, you just gotta work with it. Pull it forward a little bit. The plastic stretches, just don't force it, it won't snap, it's got a nice flex to it. Alright, and then let me put the bolts in for the swing arm brace. Do not tighten up the axle before you put this brace on. I wanted to mention that also. Okay, you can bend well, it says you can bend the swing arm. I don't know if you can. I mean, it's pretty strong, but I don't want to chance it. You know what I mean? Just do this stuff in order, and it's not really that difficult. Alright guys, I'm just going to loosely install this. Don't tighten this up yet, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing to do is install the upper belt guard. Okay, let's see if you can see this. Alright, you got one here, okay. You got that large bolt over here that goes into the swing arm. Okay, you got the one from behind the rear wheel over here. You get it from the other side. Let's see, my legs in the way. You get it from the back. Okay, over here. Alright, and make sure this metal piece here, it's still loose. That's where the front cover mounts to. Make sure that's behind the guard. Okay. Alright, you just tighten them up, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing to do is to tighten up the swing on brace bolts. Okay. Now don't forget to torque these babies up, okay? Good. Good. Another one up on the top. Good. All right, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, the next step is to install the lower belt guard. Okay. You gotta push the belt up a little bit. Okay, so we didn't put the pulley on yet. And this piece right here goes behind the top guard. Let's get this in line first. Belt up. All right. Start that. All right, guys, I'm going to put the rest of them on. You got here, here, and you got 3 under here, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, the next step is to install the idler pulley. This was the part that I found most frustrating the first time I did it. I realized you just have to leave it loose enough in the back, you know. I don't really count the number of turns and stuff. Just leave it loose enough so that you can slide this back on, because you can end up fighting with this thing if it's just not loose enough. Okay. All right, you slide it right back on. Put the nuts on. Torque them up. Alright, I'm going to button this up, torque it up, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing to do is put the axle back in and torque it up. I didn't want to bore you with the tightening it like I did with the untightening it. I'm going to torque it right now, and then we'll check to see if there's any noise or anything on the belt. Alright guys, it's very, very, very important not to over torque these axles, okay? It will ruin the bearings. This 03, you got to check in your service manual. The 03 is 49 to 52, so I torque it at 50. That's it. It doesn't sound like a lot. I know the other Harleys and stuff, my V-Rod's 150 on the back, okay? You over torque it, it will ruin the bearings, among other things. Alright, now just spin the wheel and listen for any belt noise, hitting the guard or anything else. Alright. Alright, that sounds good. Alright, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing to do is to tighten up the pinch bolt, okay? Torque down. I already did this for the sake of time. I'm not going to do it now. Okay, it's already tightened and torqued. Okay, don't forget to do this. Okay, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next step is to put the rear caliper back on. Slide it on, set it off. Alright, good. Alright guys, I'm going to button this up, torque them up, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next step is to put on the pulley cover. Alright, make sure it goes through the metal plate on the back one here. It should be lined up though once you get the other two lined up. Alright guys, let me finish buttoning it up, torquing it up, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next step is to put the foot peg mount back on. Almost there. Alright guys, let me just torque that up and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the last step is to put the chin spoiler on. I'm not going to bore you with that. And so that's how you replace the belt on a Buell XB. You know, you take your time, it's not all that complicated. Alright, just take your time, watch the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making this video. I've wanted to make it for a while. And alright, I'll see you guys soon. Take care.